times. Let's hope we don't go back to that. So let's get going. We're going to talk about Cody Gakpo. You may have seen this yesterday. I suppose it's a story. I mean, look, sometimes it's going to be really credible stuff, and sometimes it's going to be incredible stuff, of course. So this is coming from Rudy Galletti, who is a Italian journalist. He actually, look, there was a tweet he did a couple of years ago about Varane that was pretty spot on. But at that time, was it a guess? You know, did he know something? And Varane was Real Madrid to Manchester United, Spanish club, French player to England. Why would an Italian journalist know about it? But Fabrizio Romano is an Italian journalist as well. So look, I think that so basically what's been said by this Rudy Galletti is that Manchester United are, leading the race for Cody Gakpo in January. Ten Hag really likes him, and, the deal can go through in January as Manchester United look to strengthen. Take that as you will. My interpretation of that is that if Manchester United want Cody Gakpo, they'll get him in January. If the Glazers want to spend money, we'll get him in January. I don't think we need to skirt around the issue. It's not like we're talking about Osman or Tony or Mitrovic or Okafor or Sesko, which would be completely speculative in my opinion. We are talking about a player. Anthony, thank you very much for the super chat. We are talking about a player here that we tried to sign in August, that we held talks with, that Erik Ten Hag recommended and likes, that Erik Ten Hag wants to bring to Manchester United, a player that wants to come to Manchester United, a club that's managed by a former Manchester United legendary striker in Ruud van Nistelrooy. This deal can be done very, very quickly and very, very efficiently by Manchester United in January if the Glazers sanction the funds to do it. And that is basically it. Football Manager this week, is that correct or rumours? No, I will be doing it, Rehan. Goldbridge Ball is about to be reborn. If we do get Gakpo, this will hopefully push Rashford to work harder for his spot. Not that he's playing bad, but he needs to go to the next level. So Slow Sports News. I actually want to talk in a few minutes' time about where I think Man United's biggest issue is. It's not centre-back, it's not right-back, it's certainly not goalkeeper, and it's not up front. It's somewhere that might shock people. Get ready to be shocked with shocked faces. But we'll talk about that in a bit. I'm gonna set a firework off on the show today. Not like Speed did in his bedroom, but like, an imaginary firework that's going to go boom and everyone's going to go, wow, that is amazing. And he's done it on Bonfire Day, so get ready for that. But we don't want Gakpo, he's probably cack. Gakpo to Manchester United. And look, Martin says he ain't a reliable journalist. I want to move on from that, Martin, because that's just a news story that we've brought into the show. I don't want to focus on what Rudy Galletti said, that Man United are close to signing Gakpo. You believe that if you want to believe it. I don't necessarily believe it myself, but I will use that as the trigger point to move on to where I want to move, which is the facts. And whatever any journalist says over the next few weeks about Cody Gakpo, let's bring it back to the facts. Manchester United can sign Gakpo in January. Manchester United, if they're going to buy a striker or an attacker, because I know some people say, not even a striker, plays off the wing, he can play up front. He's like Rashford, basically, but not the same sort of player. But he plays off the left, but he can play up front. And I think that's what Ten Hag wants. I think he wants adaptability and fluidity in his front three. I think Ten Hag would like to have Rashford, Gakpo, Sancho, Ronaldo, Anthony, and who's the other one? Martial. I think he'd love to have 6 options like that he can mix and match. And I think that's what he would like to do. So look, forget about what the journalist has said. It just gives us a start for 10. But what it does do is it allows us to move into the area of certainty, which is that Manchester United, admittedly by PSV, Gakpo himself, and the rumours that were coming out from very good sources in the summer, were looking to sign Cody Gakpo. What does that mean, people? It means that Manchester United were trying to sign Gakpo. It means that Erik Ten Hag... Were we trying to sign Gakpo in April? Was Rangnick mentioning Gakpo? No. It was Gak no for Rangnick, and it was Gak yes for Ten Hag. Ten Hag recommended Gakpo. Ten Hag likes Gakpo. Gakpo would like to come and play for Ten Hag at Manchester United. It's a massive step up. Lots of Dutch players and admire Manchester United, as we've seen. So this is a deal that Man United could easily do in January. We would be at the front of the queue. It's a reasonable price. Ten Hag wants him. He wants to come to Manchester United. So I don't need a journalist to say this deal is close, because I think this deal, in my opinion, is as close as Manchester United, or should I say, the Glazers want it to be. If the Glazers offer up the money, then we will sign Gakpo in January. If they don't, then he will probably go somewhere else and we will probably get nothing else, or we'll wait till the summer. So look, journalistic stories, believe them or not, I believe the facts. We clearly are interested in this player. Ten Hag clearly likes him. He clearly wants to come to the club, and he's clearly available for a price that's payable, and he's clearly a young player with development. I mean, I'd be all over that. I'd be all over this like a greedy person on cake. I would, because it's clearly the sort of signing that Ten Hag will and has a track record in a very short period of time at Manchester United, but also at Ajax. He's a developmental player. And when I say developmental player, I mean a player that's in their early 20s who's shown a lot of promise on the European scene, who Erik Ten Hag can then enhance. I mean, look at Martinez. He showed a lot of potential in the Champions League for Ajax. He's now doing it in the Premier League and is arguably the best centre-back in the Premier League at the moment, with, I would say, Saliba on form. Look at what he's done with, Eriksen. Eriksen, very good player for Brentford. Some would say he was a very good player for Spurs, but I think he's playing a very different role for Manchester United, a very more mature role. I would trust Ten Hag. Malacia has shown what a good player he can strengthen before left wing with Rashford, Sancho and Garnacho, says Sam. I don't know when you put that in there, Sam. But I think I've already explained that point. If you monitor what Gakpo is, he is a differential player. He is... And what I mean by that is because I've just made the word up live on air, and people aren't going to go, oh, I know what he means. Goldbridge is on about differential players again. I've heard Gary Neville on about these differential players. It's a self-made term. A differential player for me, and you'll probably only ever hear it from my mouth on the United Stand, but a differential player is a player that makes a difference. And what I mean by that is, I look at Thierry Henry when he came to Arsenal under Arsene Wenger. He was a differential player. He was a development player, but he was a differential player. He started on the left. He was talented. He was young. Ooh, what's he all about, people thought. And he became one of the best strikers in Premier League history. I think with Gakpo, I'm not by any means saying that if he comes to United, he'll become one of the best players in Premier League history, but he's certainly a differential player. I think he would probably come in. I think he could play off the right, off the left, and through the middle. And I certainly think, look at Anthony Martial. Ben says, what does this mean for Garnacho? I don't think it means anything for Garnacho. I really don't think it means anything for Garnacho. Because Garnacho can't play up front, and Gakpo can, and Rashford could, and Ronaldo does, and Martial does. And I would look at Anthony Martial. We bought him as a winger. He's now a centre-forward. He's not really a winger anymore. I don't think we'll ever really see Martial off the left again, even though some of us think he can do a very good job from there. So... differential players are players that you bring in and people want to pigeonhole them. They want to say, get in that hole, you pigeon. Get in that hole on the left wing. I don't see Cody Gakpo as a player like that. I think there is a desire, and maybe we will go down this route and ignore Gakpo and go for the summer. There is a desire in the fan base for an out-and-out number 9, and Cody Gakpo certainly isn't a Mitrovic or a Tony or an Osman. He's not that, but it's a player that Ten Hag likes, and